All right, Brandon made this very artful banner. Good job, Brandon. Here's a map of the area in Belgium where we were. Small country. The pink arrow is the village where we stayed, and then the blue arrows are races that we went to. We were in a town called Oudenaarde, about an hour from Brussels. You see Brussels down in the bottom right corner. And the cool thing about Belgium is everything is so close together. It's such a small country. We'll hit all these towns and I'll tell you more about them. I brought out this photo just as a little background. This was from 1998 here in Boulder, and I've been doing cross since '93. As soon as I graduated from college, I moved out to Colorado to be a bike racer and got into cyclocross right away, and that was in 1993. And I don't have any photos from back then, but I had this one, and this one was in '98 when Chris Grealish hosted the first UCI race in the US. And to make it a great race, he brought in 2 Belgian guys to raise the level of the event. And our good friend Rob Capolillo, who's a writer here in Boulder and is still active, wrote this headline, which was quite comical. And 2 of the guys were both World Cup riders, and one of them, Peter van den Abely, is now the head of all cyclocross for the UCI. This is a photo from the year after, '99. I just threw this in because it's one of the few digital photos I have from back in that era. This is from the National Championships in '99 at the Presidio in San Francisco, which is a really special race. I was 6th place in that race. So I've been doing this a long time, but I'd never raced in Belgium except for one race in '94. I raced the World Championships in 1994. And since then, mountain biking always took over, and cyclocross was something that I could only devote a limited time to during the fall. And come Christmas, it was really time to take a rest and get ready for the mountain bike season again. And you still see that with the pro mountain bikers these days. It's only a few of them that dedicate the energy to go to Belgium and race after the American season finishes around Christmas time. So now that I'm an old guy, I decided to take the opportunity to do it and head on over there. My friends at IMBA made this after the state championships this year when Spencer was talking trash. Spencer works with me at IMBA, and he's a great rider. He's about 12 years my junior. And so when he started talking trash, my coworkers at IMBA made this as a joke. That's from the start line at Colorado States this year. So anyway, I'm 40 years old now, but wish I had gone to Belgium much sooner, but I finally got it done. So we packed up the bikes and went over there. This is well, the secret to bike travel these days is how to not get reamed with with your bike fees, especially traveling with 2 bikes, because the main problem is, well, you have to be prepared to pay no matter what, but you want to try to limit it. A bike is $175 each way to Europe now, and the box can't be over 50 pounds. 2 cross bikes in a box is going to be over 50 pounds, especially in a commercially available bike bag or bike box. So the secret is to use cardboard, since it's so light, and pack 2 bikes in 1 box, and then bring your extra wheels just as suitcase-sized boxes. So that's what I did, and so they think this is 1 bike and 2 suitcases, so the fee is only $175 instead of like $500. And that's how you put 2 bikes in 1 box, like that. And it works great. It's not quite as durable as a bike bag, but it works pretty good.
How long did that take you?
I'm used to customizing cardboard, but it took me a few hours for sure of cutting cardboard and duct taping and packing. And I wanted to bring 2 bikes because if you're sort of in for penny in for a pound. I didn't want to go over there and be unprepared.
Did you use one to train and one to race, or did you?
Yeah, I ended up never switching bikes in races. But yeah, I would warm up on one and race on another one. And it's so muddy and rainy over there all the time that it does cut down on the wear and tear and such. And you always prepared. This is a rental car we had, which was a VW Touran, like SUV, which we rented for $400 for 2 weeks, and able to fit in 2 bikes, the luggage, a child, and a car seat. And so that worked out great.
Where did the boxes go?
The bike boxes, on the way from the airport, everything crammed in there. Once we got to our apartment, we just left it behind. The luggage, flying to Europe 3 days before Christmas during a snowstorm is an adventure, and the luggage was late. But Belgium got a lot of snow, and the country is so ill prepared for it that it really is rare. They do not have snow shovels. They literally, and you see these people out, shopkeepers, like this is a shopkeeper using a squeegee to clear the sidewalk, because squeegees, I guess, are very common. It's so rainy. And here she is out there trying to chip away at the ice, and it was really snowy throughout this whole winter so far, which was interesting. They don't plow the roads, they just use salt. They don't even have snow plows. Fortunately for us, it was no problem. So first day we got there, settled in, and the first race is the Nordzee-Cross. This has been running for 50 years. Imagine an annual race that's been running for 50 years, cyclocross race. And it's in Middelkerk. It's very famous. It's not part of the big World Cup or Super Prestige, but we thought we'd take it in, and so we loaded up the van, and this is the route from Oudenaar to Middelkerk up on the North Sea. It's about an hour and a half. Oudenaar is A and Middelkerk is B. We pulled in the parking lot and parked right next to Jonathan Page, the American racer who lives in Europe, and he has a mobile home like all the pros there. His is very low-key and nondescript compared to the others, but nevertheless it was cool to, we got waved right in. I just said I'm a racer, and they waved us right in. And Jonathan was there, and he's a great guy. He's from New Hampshire. I've known his family for a long time because I'm from New England too. And he's really the first American ever to go full-time in Europe. Lots of Americans have done part-time over there and dabbled in it for a month here or 2 months maybe, but Jonathan lives there. He doesn't even come back to the States in the summer. He comes to the States to visit, but he lives in Belgium full-time, year-round, and he's been doing it for 5 years. What ended up happening is I didn't race because I learned that you can't mix masters and elite the way we can in the US. I race elite often, I race masters sometimes, and in Belgium I was planning to do the same and to try both categories. And I learned at Middelkerk, which is an elite race only, that you can do elite. I could have done elite, but only elite for the whole year. And I really wanted to focus on the masters races, which are more suited to my age. And so they said, you can't do it. And I had to make a decision which to do, and I decided to just spectate at Middelkerk and stay in the masters. I would have been the oldest guy in the race by a good 5 or 6 years, so it wasn't that hard a decision. So then I took advantage. I did all the warm-up and rode the course and everything, and then I went to the pit. And this is how cold it was. They had this is coal, which I've never even seen, but they're burning coal in the pit for the mechanics. So that was pretty cool. And I just took photos, and there's a couple Americans. Here's our buddy Dan Summerhill from Centennial, he's from, down by Denver. And he's a our top rider in Colorado, really, for all ages, but he's an under 23. He's done really well internationally and nationally. He's a national champion for under 23, and he's Colorado's best hope for like a cyclocross superstar in the future, I would say. And he was racing, he did well.